Hello, 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 and welcome everyone to our COP Bank podcast this Friday, the 13th of March. It is a great pleasure to have you with us from whichever part of the world that you are watching us from. Now remember, you can catch us across all our social media platforms, COP Bank on YouTube, on X, on Facebook, and for all those who are streaming in on Zoom as well, welcome, welcome, welcome. Now for the last 2 months since January this year, COP has been running webinars every single Friday from 11 a.m. and some of the topics that have been covered include how to buy shares, how to budget your finances, and also how to start a business. Basically, they are very key conversations that circle around money. And today we will be having a different format. It's going to be a very interactive podcast, and with us we have young people, the youth, who are creating their businesses around the agricultural sector. And also we will be listening in from an expert, a business expert, who will be shedding more light on the do's and don'ts when you are setting up your business. How do you budget your money? How do you get it right? In case you stumble and fall, how do you pick yourself back up? A business expert will be here to shed more light on that and more. Now allow me to introduce myself. My name is Violetta Ngina. I am a television presenter and also widely known as the International Mukulima. Now without much further ado, allow me to introduce our guest, our panelist on this podcast set today, and we are joined by Mr. Odero Owor, aka Mkuu. All right, take it away. Tell people just a bit about you.
Mwenyewe. Mkulima here is happy to be here on set together with this amazing panel. Thank you for the opportunity to come and just share my real story, how things went down, so that our business advisory senior here can tell me, hey, Odero hapa, ungefaa kwenda hivi na hivi. Maybe the outcome should have been better.
Right. Thank you so much, Odero. He will be shedding more light on how he started his business. And just a disclaimer, this guy amepanda kila kitu. From hoho to nyanya, watermelon, everything that can be eaten, he has grown it in his farm. So he will be telling us, iyo pesa ya kufanya hizo vitu zote inatoka wapi. Then we also have Betty. She might look small, but she's very, very mighty in the agricultural and also export space. Betty, wacha tusikie sauti yako kidogo. Just tell us a bit about yourself as well.
Okay, yeah, my name is Betty. As you said, I am a farmer and also I'm an export consultant, especially those who deal with horticultural crops. Yes, I am very happy to be here today to share my story and my journey, especially in farming, at least maybe to motivate someone who is out there listening.
Great. Thank you so very much, Betty. And finally, like I told you earlier, we do have in our presence a business expert who will be listening in to how we started, how we handled our capital, how we are managing our profits. Mr. Eric Muleri, pia utatuambia, at what point should I start paying myself in this business? Please, let's hear your voice. Introduce yourself to our audience who are watching us this morning.
Thank you, Ngina, for the opportunity. My name is Eric Muleri. I work with the Co-operative Bank of Kenya as a consultant, and my role is to advise businesses and to support them to set up structures, to plan their money, to plan the operations, and just to get it right from day one. We'll be seeing at what point you can pay yourself.
Great. So you can see we have a strong panel here on this podcast, and they will be shedding a lot of light on how to do not only ukulima, but ukulima biashara. And our hashtag today is Let's Go, Let's Grow. We want to make sure that we are growing in this agricultural sector, and also this conversation is for you who is watching us across all our social media platforms. Please feel free to send in your questions as we go. Ukisikia Odero amesema kitu unataka more ufafanuzi, please type in your question. If there's something you want the business expert to clarify, send in your questions as well. We will be sampling them as we go on with the show. Now let's get things going. Shall we?
For sure.
Great. So now the biggest question, a lot of young people, whichever county you go, the first thing they'll ask you is, unaanza aje? Iyo do unatoa wapi? Kuna msi akona idea, akona vision board inakaa hivi, But the limiting factor is
finance.
There you go.
Yes.
So now we throw the question back to you. When you started, which year was that? Where did you get the capital? And also, how much capital did you really need when you were starting?
For sure, for sure. I started back in 2022, December. I was running another business. I'm also a photographer and videographer. And from the savings that I had made, that one I had run for about 4 or 5 years. So from those savings is what I decided, okay, let me try something else. Because from our industry, business went down a little after COVID.
Right.
So with the savings that I had, I decided to embark into agriculture. Initially, I wanted to do produce for the export market solely, so I had to do a greenhouse. So my initial capital was a bit high compared to what the common young guy can manage to get. I started with about 2 million shillings, did greenhouse structures and grew a high value crop, that's basil for export. Story for another day.
That's how you started and that's how you got your capital.
Yes.
So 2 million from your savings.
Yes.
How many greenhouses did you start with?
I did 3 greenhouses, about 30 meters by 40 meters.
All right. Yeah. Wooden or metallic?
Oh, it was metallic.
Metallic.
More costly.
All right. Yeah. Great. And which crops did you start with?
I started with basil.
Herbs. Great. We will be getting back to that. That's a high value crop and you will be shedding more light. Oh, high risk as well.
Yes.
Great. So let's go to Betty.
Yes.
Tushaambiwa hapa alianza na 2M. Unakaa chini unasema
Of course.
All right. So we'd like to hear from you when you were starting out. Odero started out in 2022. When did you start, and your capital as well? How much did you need and where did you source your money from?
Oh, okay. I started in 2023 and that time I was working at Kefis. So a lot of the finances that I used in farming were coming from my savings. And also I have to mention that I didn't do it alone. We had to come to bring efforts together with my campus classmate whom we were doing the same farming together. So the initial capital that I sent for to kick it off, it was around 80,000. However, it also continued to be accumulative because that was the initial capital. We have to send as we also had to spend more as we go on with the crop development.
Right. Yeah. So here the starting capital was 2 million. Your starting capital was 80,000. So you can see the viewer. Big amounts of money, small amounts of money, you can still start in the agricultural sector. So if you feel your pressure ya 2 million inatoka wapi, unaget. So whether you have a lot of money ama hauna pesa mingi kidogo unaweza jipanga, and that's why our business expert is here to tell us how these two people in some of very different worlds can manage to, build a business around agriculture. Betty, your crop was
chilies.
Chilies. All right. So Mr. Eric, our business expert, right? So we have 2 young people here who have shared their stories on how they got into agriculture and where they sourced their funds from, knowing that funds is one of the biggest challenges in young people who want to start business. So give us the different options. If you want to start, what are those options you can go for besides savings? But you can also talk about savings as well. And also for a first timer, kijana ambaye anaingia kwa ukulima mara ya kwanza, is it advisable to walk into a financial institution and ask for a loan? And if it's advisable, is there a limit? Niende nitishe mita 12, 10K, 80? Yeah, so just talk about those 2 different scenarios.
Thank you, Ngina. And I think Odero and Mwende have shared with us the easiest starting point when you want to raise capital is your personal savings. So if you have some income, you can, when you target to start a business, then you can be setting aside small savings gradually and then get to the point where you can start your business. And Mwende has also given us a second option, which is to pull together resources with your friends. That makes the journey easier because I'm sure maybe when Mwende put in 80,000, the friend put in 80. Probably the same amount of money. So that made the journey easier. And also, you could also reach out to friends and family. They're usually the easiest people to get money from. because they understand you, they trust you, and they know you. And when you talk to them and you tell them you want to farm, they can actually see whether there is a farmer in you or
That's
not.
true.
So they will trust you with their money if they can see the farmer in you.
Right.
Going to a bank to borrow money for your first time investment in agriculture, a bank will finance you if your business is ready to pay repay that loan. The reality of entering a new space is that you will make mistakes and you will learn from those mistakes. And unfortunately, those mistakes will cost you money.
Of course.
Yes, so that means that when the bank gives you money to start off, the risk is that it is the bank's money that will go down with the mistakes.
Right.
So usually the advice is that start off small with what you have, and then when the business can pay alone, then now go to borrow.
Right. So build the business first. Anza tu kidogo hata 80,000, 40,000, 20,000. Just start, and then when the business can sustain itself, now you can walk into the financial institution and get some loans. Great. So when you were starting out, you went for a very high value crop. We know with herbs, the export market is humongous. You know, you can make so much money out of herbs. You understand? So you invested 2 million.
Yes.
You know, within this short time frame, you'll make your money back.
Yes.
You know, your 2 million will triple or double. Was that your experience? Was there value for your money after that? Was there return on investment? Ama, kilikusho very ugly things.
Far different from that. Actually, I want to just caution young farmers who are about to venture into agriculture to beware of sales agronomists. So you find the person who I managed to get, the consultant, them they were just out to sell me the seedlings, but they had assured me, I'll come with buyers, they'll buy all this, they'll pay this much. They had already told me this thing goes for about 350 shillings a kilo, and we'll be harvesting weekly. You know, it's harvested within a 2 months period. So you're told this is high value, pesa itarudi haraka haraka. Hey, lo and behold. So you come, we did the crop well. He was there all the way till maturity when we started harvesting. And then now the moment we supplied the first consignment to his supplier, boom, he disappeared. So maybe with my wisdom, I ran to HCDA there at the airport and was just looking at people bringing basil, and I just spoke to 1 or 2 people and told them, by the way, I also have basil, and that is how I managed to get a buyer. Impromptu. But also pia huyu akanipeleka hivi na hivi. I was filled almost my whole produce. It wasn't such a good experience.
So meaning you went, for many people don't even know, at the airport, HCDA, there's a place where farmers also store their produce, but it's at a cost, which can be quite costly. So you didn't get your money back kwa sababu the person you sold for hakukupatia pesa yako. So that was not a very welcoming experience in the agricultural sector. I'll be coming to you, Betty, but we have some feedback streaming in. We're encouraging all of you to ask us questions. We'd like to hear from you. Remember, we have farmers and an expert here to take care of that. We have from Zoom, Dadias to Mr. Eric. Business expert, wewe ndo umeanziwa. I have 50K. Will they help me to start a business, and which kind of a business, please? All right, huyu akona 50,000 Kenya shillings. Anauliza hiyo inaweza nitosha kuanza biashara, na kama ni kuanza biashara jamani, inaweza anza biashara gani? Another feedback on Zoom from Bethwell, anasema thank you Co-bank for your continued attempt to build us financially. Thank you so much Bethwell for being with us here today. So yeah, Mr. Eric, huyu ambaye akona 50,000 Kenya shillings anauliza inanitosha kuanza biashara, will it be a sustainable business, na nipatie options, naweza anza vitu kama nini?
Thank you, a very good question, and it's a great thing that he has put together 50,000 shillings. I get worried as an advisor when somebody tells me I have money, tell me what to do with it. I get worried because the question is then whose business is that? I tell you, start a kiosk. Do you have the capacity to run a kiosk? I tell you, go and farm chili, for example, like Mwende. Do you have an idea what chili is, where to sell, what capital is required? So for me, I find from an advisory angle, it's easier if you look at where you are, look at the opportunities that are within your space.
Right.
That becomes easier for you to build something.
Right. Great.
Maybe
Betty?
to add on
Sure,
that,
sure.
sometimes I also feel the same. I get some people telling you, like, oh, niko na hii pesa, nianze, nilime nini. For me, what I tell them, it's better first do your own research. Which crop are you blending up with? Because if I tell you chili, you know, maybe chili is not in you. Go do your own research, maybe upate mishiri pia, kuna mtu akona mishiri, anza kubodi na hiyo crop. Ndo tukianza, you own that project by yourself.
Right.
Si mimi nilikupea.
Right.
So if you own it,
Mimi
you are ready to
nilipewa.
work. Shida hiyo.
Right. Okay. So anze atafute within yourself.
Yes.
What are you passionate about?
Exactly.
But what the blanket is, 50K is enough. To
Yeah,
start as
yeah,
a
sure.
business.
Yes,
All right, great. Alafu kuna mwingine hapa Nebat Facebook anasema I got an acre piece of land. I have no capital, but how do I start? Please Co-bank advice. Kwanza tumpigie makofi kidogo. Akona land tayari. You know, land is a big issue,
Na akona
right?
idea.
Akona land
Start.
na akona idea.
Yes.
First of all, before we even get to telling him atoe wapi capital,
Yes.
did you buy land? Did you lease land? Was
Yes.
land an issue for you when you were getting into the agricultural sector? Tell us.
I went the direction of leasing land because land is quite expensive, and my priority was being close to the market and also infrastructure. Spendi shamba yenye unaambiwa stima itawai kuja siku moja. Okay, I want to see electricity. I want to power my machines with electricity because diesel is expensive. So location also matters, and if you want to be close to the market, the value of land nearby, let's say somewhere like Mala or even Kajiado, buying right now, you'll find an acre going for not less than $1 million.
Right.
So if you want to do 5 acres, you need 5 million. As a youth, you unatoa wapi?
Exactly.
But leasing is only 12K.
Right. So where you're leasing, uko
Yes.
hizo pande za
Ngoliba. Yes.
you're paying how much per year?
12,000 Kenyan
12,000.
shillings.
And for you, Betty, how much
In
are you paying?
Makongeni Thika, we are paying 20 per acre per year.
20 per acre per year. But I also believe it's important to clarify that kuna sehemu nyingine kama Kajiado, the
Yes.
figures are different.
Very
you get
different.
about 12,000 or 9,000
Per
a
month.
month.
Per month. And the water, unalipishwa
The cost of
35.
water
I
is
was
too
in another
expensive.
farm last week.
Yeah.
Per month it was 7,000, yes. But maji, per month 35. So that is 40.
Yeah.
40 something.
Yeah, 42,000. So you
it's a
analipa
lot.
42,000 per month. So for everyone who's listening in, the figures for leasing land are very different in
Yes.
different regions.
Yeah.
So huyu ambaye anasema akona 1 acre piece of land, Mr. Eric, I still believe high likely utamwambia jifikirie what kind of crop. I won't tell you what to put there, but you already have something to start up with. But I would also like to ask you, is it a smart move, akiwa na hiyo 1 acre, before they decide on what they want to start, can they lease it out? Aifanye biashara for now, lease it for like a year as they think. Ndo isikae tu hapo, ako kashamba kanaweza kuwa kanampatia kitu either per month or per year, and then eventually they will probably have made up their mind. And while at it, I will be coming to Betty with a question on Zoom from Basu ambaye anasema I have 60K. Can I start to supply avocados to an export company? I believe the best person to answer that will be Betty, because she has cracked the export market.
Yeah.
So fikiria hiyo 60K. Anaweza anza ku-export avocado. What do they need and what do those figures look like? So yeah, back to you, Mr. Eric. Can I list the land in the meantime, as I think? The
Yes,
1 acre?
first of all, I agree with you that the person asking, sorry I didn't get the name, has a resource.
Yes.
They already have land, and they have an acre of land. My advice would be, that is the resource that the person has. They can use that to get going. They could choose to lease part of it, and from the money they have been paid, they can farm the other part.
Yes.
Then gradually build their capital
Right.
up to a point where now they can farm the entire 1 acre.
Right.
They could also decide to partner with somebody who comes with the capital. So you come with the land, somebody else brings the capital, and you get going.
Right.
So the options are many.
Many. All
Yes.
right. Thank you, Nebat. I hope the answer from Mr. Eric is sufficient enough. You can lease, unatumia hiyo pesa kwanza kujipanga, ama you partner with someone who's coming in with the money, but mtaandikiana mjuane venye mtalipana. Sawa?
Yeah.
All right. So, yeah, back to you. Betty, niko na 60,000. Hiyo ndo capital yangu, nimechanga. Nataka kujua kama naweza anza kufanya mambo ya export when it comes to avocados?
If I got his question right, anataka kuwa supplier, si kuwa exporter. You want to be an avocado supplier, a supply to an export company.
Yes.
So that is very okay and it is possible. What he should be noting is when you are supplying these fruits to a pack house, maybe that company you are taking to, you get paid after packing. So wewe utakuja na avocado zako za 60,000, mimi ni pack nione what is good quality. Yenye iko good quality per box, that is what I pay you. So kama out of your 60,000 nimeweza kupack like boxes 30, I will pay you 30 boxes. The reject, you go back with it. So kama capital iko kidogo, basi pia you also pia maximize in getting good quality avocados. So with 60,000 it's okay to supply.
Right. So huyu mtu ambaye anataka kukua supplier lazima ahakikishe akona contact with, is it other farmers, is it other aggregators, ndo ajue anaendea wapi avocado, alafu ndo apeleke export market. Who should be his, you know, wanaitango waje speed dial, who should be on the speed dial?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Lazima akuwe anajua where is he getting these avocados from, because I understand suppliers they buy per piece kwa mkulima. So at least ndo akikuja kwa export whereby mimi namlipa per box. You know, your box ya 4 kg inajaa avocado ngapi? So that is it. So you must know where you are sourcing your avocados from. You must also cater your transport, like from kwa shamba mpaka Nairobi, where there is that pack house. However, if he's willing, I can as well get his contact and nimuonyesha mashimo.
Great. So acha namba yako hapo nyuma ya tent. The conversation will be furthered with Betty, but yes, he can start. 60K is enough for him to aggregate some avocados, apeleke kwa an export company, just as long as good quality. Good quality. All right, so there you go. Now we have another question here. Yvonne Mwangi on Zoom anasema, I had started a mobile juice business, but somehow it is in low operation. I tried to market it. It was promising, but after a few months of operations, people pulled out. Please advise. Thank you so much, Yvonne, and that's bringing in the whole aspect of soko.
Yeah.
Ukishamaliza kupata capital, you think everything is okay, then comes the market, which can be there or not be there.
Yes.
So before we even get to answering him directly, I'd like to know, how did you market? Because ukona basil, ukona hoho, ukona kitungu, sometimes you do nyanya, you have chilies. You are coming into a space where other people are growing what you have. So it's nothing that the market is like, oh, we desperately need your onions. So what makes you able to come into an already saturated market and sell your onions? So that huyo akona juice, ajue atafanya nini? So
I think me, one of the things that I go by is kuuza haitaki aibu. You see, kuuza haitaki aibu. So you know, there's farmers who, even just in our field in the agri space, there's farmers who you tell, so you go to the market and just ask for someone to come and buy these things. You see. So I feel someone should just be able to have the confidence and the guts to just go and just because you see, you had the vigor to grow this, to produce this, even the juice. Alikuwa na hiyo psych na morale kuwa this is going to work. So with that same psych and morale, you should go and market and just tell people, by the way, this juice is really nice. I ensure that I source the fruits from a nice place and whatnot. They're pest free and what free, and just market your products out there. That's what I do. I just go to markets huku na huku na huku. I mean markets every day.
Right. Lazima uingie huko, kama ni Githurai unaingia, Marikiti unaingia. I saw you the other day, you went all the way to Migori. And take your onions. Na zimepandiwa hapa Ngoliba.
Imagine.
All right. So aggressive
and
marketing.
Language barrier.
All right. So and then there's you, Betty. Marketing. Hii chili yako ndo hata iweze kwenda export market. There's already chili that's going there. So how do you position yourself in such a way that yes, we also want your chili?
Okay, what I tell farmers most of the time, and that I've seen it work for me, you do not wait until your crop imebakisha 2 weeks old to get to soko ndo uanze kutafuta soko. For me, naanzanga kutafuta soko hiyo kitu nikiweka kwa mchanga. I want to align myself with those people who are, if I'm doing cabbage, I want to start aligning myself na watu wanafanya cabbages. Hizo utaenda ukichange those dynamics, utakuwa unazielewa by the time ufike soko. Number 2, those buyers, start engaging them, because unajua kama Odero venye anasema, when I started doing chili, mimi Muthurwa nilikuwa navaa gumboots naingia ndani. Yes, naenda kusikia wanauza aje, like bei naenda aje, you know, mpaka unachukua contact, mimi niko nayo, the chill that is coming itakuwa ready in 2 months time, you know, mpaka wako willing kukupea namba zao. So you start just aligning yourself with those people who are kwa hiyo crop yenye una grow.
Right, great. Thank you so much for that. Eric, I'd like you to sum up the market conversation. We are starting a business, we're in agriculture, na kitu moja tumekuwa tukiambiwa, makosa ambayo tumekuwa tukifanya katika sekta ya ukulima is running agriculture like a hobby or a lifestyle, kwa sababu tumetoka kwa familia ambayo ukulima inafanyika, si ndio? We don't have structures in the agricultural sector, and if you walk into like, you know, corporate world, there's a structure, there's a marketer, and there's HR. So if me najua the technical work, lakini sijui mambo ya marketing, should I budget it to have someone to help with marketing? Because kuna venye watu, Odero can talk, Odero can survive anywhere. Odero put him in Turkana, he'll sell his stuff, but there's someone else who can't. So should I budget a small fee for marketing?
Thank you. Very good question. First of all, I would like to tell the viewer congratulations that you identified a product and you are able to make sales. There are people who start something and they do not make any sale. So first of all, she was able to make a sales, and then for me, I would take the journey as a learning experience. Try to understand what caused the sales not to happen.
Right.
That then would tell you what you need to do differently so that the business is able to prosper.
Right.
In terms of generally thinking about marketing, and I agree with you, not all of us are gifted to do the production and also to sell. So if you are not able to push your produce in the market, tafuta mtu.
That's true.
Partner with someone.
Right. All right. Great. Thank you so much for that. So our juice vendor, you're doing great, but also like seasons pia. Unajua kukuwa na baridi pia watu wataki kukunywa juice. It probably is that season, so you can try diversify, eka kauji power hapo nini. So that's what, I think so. Because will you go and buy juice now when you kuna baridi and all that? So also try see if your business can withstand all seasons, diversify. All right. So I want to look at some of the feedback coming in. Remember, we are urging you as much as possible to talk to us. We'd like to answer your questions. Geoffrey Wakoli on Zoom anasema, I would like to be a distributor of any farm products. How can I do that? Because in my area, farmers will have like many avocados, etc., but the market is a problem. Perhaps can I get the opportunity to buy from them and distribute to a company? You said that is very possible.
Yeah, very possible.
Right, na utatafuta Betty after here, attach contact mahali. Yes, and then there's another one, DJ TJ. Oh, he's a DJ, and then now he's getting in ukulima. Well done. Anasema, morning guys, it's my first time to join your live. Big up to you. Thank you very much. I'd like to ask if farming rosemary and some mint spices can make me good money than what I'm getting from skuma farming in Manyanja, Bungoma County. Mrembe mno. So the answer is yes, herbs.
Yes.
The answer is yes, but distance.
I was also looking at it.
You see.
Yeah.
Because those herbs are very perishable.
Yeah, true.
Yes.
And then how will he get them here? I believe if they have the ability to do it in scale, maybe they can hire a cold truck to bring it.
Yeah.
But
Iyo region yenye yuko, and then you know also we don't consume so much uko in Western.
Yes.
I mean, ukimwambia ni rosemary na hapa kuna managu. Itakuwa ngumu sana. Unajua, you know, and also we don't even know how to use most of these herbs. So the answer is yes, you can make a lot of money from herbs, but right now you have a limiting factor like location. Maybe if you can lease land in a different place and see, but herbs is definitely a high value crop. This question will definitely be going to Mr. Eric. So Peter Mutula on Zoom is asking, the bank sees it as a risk giving loans to startup entrepreneurs. Why don't they give loans according to structured business plans or look at the potential of a business making profits and the low cost that comes with starting some businesses? Why don't they consider this? Mbona usiangalie like this business can amini niko na plan. So Eric, can I trust the process? Can I trust then as a bank inakupea pesa?
Okay, thank you. I think maybe at some point we'll get to hear the stories Betty and Odero took,
Yes.
so that we understand that when banks say they don't want to give you money when you are starting off,
Yeah.
si ati wanakuonea.
Yes.
Ni ukweli.
There is usually a real journey you have to take.
Yeah.
But I want to say, one other thing we have to understand is that banks usually hawana pesa yao. Ni pesa ya wananchi.
That's true.
And the law allows banks to take certain levels of risk. So inakuwa ngumu kukuja na kusema wacha tukupatie uende ujaribu, ikifaulu sawa, isipofaulu then tuanze kuongea. It becomes very difficult.
Right.
So it's easier because again when you borrow you have to pay back.
Yeah.
And the process of paying back sometimes can be very painful. And so sometimes we also care about you. We don't want to subject you to that pain
that
when you are
too.
starting off. So banks are very happy, and any financial institution is very happy to give you money to expand your business, because at that point we know you have learned,
Yes.
you have made your mistakes, you have corrected them, and now the business can grow.
Right. Thank you so much, Mr. Eric. And I believe it goes back to just what you said at the beginning. Start small, build something, make sure it can sustain itself. You're already making some money out of it, then you can approach the bank. Sinisawa.
Yes.
All right, so let's get down to some data, and this data is from the Kenya National Bureau of Statistics 2016. It stated that MSMEs, about 46.3% of them within the first year, kaput, closed down. I'm not doing this anymore. Betty, at some point in your journey, because you started small, we are all in that MSMEs space. At any one point, did you feel like it's over? I'm done. Me and these chilies, not doing this anymore. Did you feel discouraged? Did you go through something that really pushed you to the wall?
Yeah, I can say I experienced some losses that gave me some setbacks. But the thing is, I didn't give up. And this time, I purchased wrong seedlings. No, like me niliorder what I ordered versus what I received. Niliorder Demon F1, I got something different. And you see, in this case, you tend to know that it was wrong when the crop is already under production. And by that time, I had already spent 107,000. But I don't know kama hata 5K ilirudi out of it. But I didn't give up. What I did, I just did away with the crop na nikaeka ingine.
All right.
Yes.
So you lost 197,000 worth of investment because of purchasing a wrong seed, which is something very common with very many farmers, especially onion farmers.
True.
All right. Odero, have you reached a point where you had to quit this thing? Like, let me go back to photography and because this farming thing ain't no way it's supposed to feel like this.
That's
so did
true.
you feel that at any one point?
I've been there, by the way. That is after I tried out the basil, it didn't work. I decided to try capsicum, and then one of the aggregators insisted that I grow some crop called ravaya. Looks like a cucumber, but banana shape. And they're the only ones who know the market for that crop. So the moment I grew it, and then it was like, the quality isn't that good. So wait, we are going to offtake next week. If you don't harvest it this week, it starts going bad and whatnot. And it was just frustrating. So for me, it was total loss. All I had was greenhouses. After about a 6 month period, I took a whole 1 year gap. I just went back to the studio and said, "Wacha kwanza I go and re-strategize and figure out how
for
I'm
a
going
year.
to go around."
You had to stay out of it for a year. All right. So when you look at, when we break down that data further, you get the reasons why MSMEs, people there, will close down their businesses in a year. Different reasons. 29.6% is because of operating funds. 22.9% is personal reasons, and then we have 15.3% market, too few customers, right? And I believe you've addressed the market issue. Operating funds, we learned a thing or two about that. So I'll come to you, Mr. Eric. When you find yourself in a place where 1 year down the line, it's not making sense, you're not breaking even, your expectations are completely, you're disappointed because what you expected and what you're getting, you're on the verge of running mad. Sometimes they say ukulima will make you run mad.
Sure.
Right? Yeah. People have been hospitalized
Hey,
out
Others
of
have
pressure
died.
People have
that you
committed
get from
suicide.
yeah.
Juu ukulima.
So
Others died.
yeah, so it's very, very tricky. So when you get there a year down the line and things are not looking like what you hoped for, what do? Do you take a break like he did? Do you continue like she did? Do you go now to the bank and take another bigger loan? Do you go to your family and tell them kumeungua mahali, but this time niko na idea better, niongezee tu ka 50k, you know? So yeah, what do you do when the 1 year is looking like this, like that?
Thank you. When you are thinking of getting into business, it's important to take time to think about it. And one of the mistakes very many people make is I need to farm, for example. I need to farm chili, and my farm, I need 80,000 to get going. So we never think beyond planting. So we plan for everything.
Yes.
How to get seeds, how to prepare the land, how to plant, labor, kila kitu. Then once tumeweka kwa mchanga, hapo mbele ni Mungu. That is the mistake, one of the commonest mistakes people make.
That's true.
So you don't look at the full crop cycle, so that you raise money ya kupanda and to go through the season.
Right, right.
Like we've had, kuna lessons, and sometimes you will have a total loss, sometimes you will have a partial loss of your crop. At the point of starting, then tunafaa kujiuliza maswali. What if this happens?
Yes.
What if I plant and it doesn't grow, first of all? What if I plant and like Odero, the person who was the whole market you knew, imagine, is no longer in place.
Right. Okay.
Yes. So you have to try and think about the different possible scenarios, and that is why we will keep insisting. Start small.
Right.
Learn your lessons before you can do at a big scale.
Right. And the biggest lesson here also is don't plant something where only one person can be the off-taker.
Self-taker.
All right. Thank you so much for that. I do want to look at some of the feedback that we have coming in across our social media platforms. Kennedy, who is streaming in on Zoom, anasema, hi, I have some beehives and we harvest honey, which we sell locally. I need to up that game in order to get more income from the venture. How can I proceed on that? Okay, that's the question from Kennedy.
Let me take that
Mizinga ya nyuki, and I believe Odero will be helping us answer that. We also do have another question from Oxley Ben on Zoom as well. Anasema, hello everyone, I hope you're all doing well. I am a software developer. How can cooperative bank and agricultural initiatives leverage digital platforms such as mobile applications or data-driven dashboards to improve access to credit, track crop yields, and strengthen market linkages for small holder farmers? That's a very good question.
Very good.
Very, very good
Very
question.
good.
Great. So we'll come back here. We answer those questions. Thank you everyone who's streaming in and sending in your questions. Please keep doing that. We're here for you. All right, Odero, ule ambaye ana mizinga, anataka scale up, level up.
Yes.
In our younger millennial Gen Z language,
Sure.
it's leveling up.
Leveling
So
up.
how do they do that with their beehives?
If you're running an, it's called apiary, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Apiculture.
Apiculture. So if you already have that set up, what I'd advise is there's an agency, or can I call it a parastatal by the government, called National Beekeeping Institute. It's in Lenana. They do training.
Yeah.
So they train you all the way from how to build the beehive. They train you how to take care of the queen and whatnot, and separating the honey from the brood. Very complex stuff, but they break it down very nicely. And they also train you value addition, because you see with the honey that he's mentioning, honey is usually, first of all, the least valuable product from a beehive. Yeah?
Yes.
The wax is more valuable than the honey.
Venom.
And there's the propolis, that's the venom, you see. So they'll teach you how to extract those and sell to them. They'll also sort you out with market. And they'll also teach you how to package and bottle, and where you can get the bottles. It's a one-stop shop.
Right.
For information.
Right.
Yes.
Great. So thank you so much, Ule wa Mizinga. I hope you've had
Saidika
that. And I
huko.
know we've also recently opened the Venom market, which is worth a lot of
It
money.
is.
So just build your networks around that.
Yes.
So Mr. Eric, we also had another question on how can cooperative bank leverage the young people to include, digital infrastructure that can help with market, tracking crop yields. Is that a conversation that we are on as we speak?
Thank you. Yes, it's a conversation that not only banks, I've seen a lot of players in the market come up with very innovative platforms that help. I think the big discussion currently is to link the farmer or the producer in their language. They want to link the producer to the market. And in between, there are very many players who would also benefit from that chain. So we have very many platforms in this market that have come up that help farmers, first of all, to put together their produce, to try and project ahead. Just like Betty told us, when you want to market, you don't hit the market, you don't knock doors when you have the produce.
That's true.
You start early.
Yes.
So there are platforms in this market that farmers log on and update that I have 1 acre of land, for example, and I am planting potatoes, and I expect to harvest in May, for example, and I project I will harvest maybe 1 or 2 tons. And on the same platform, there are buyers who are looking at the different varieties. For example, there are some hotels that would be interested in a certain variety only. And so they will log on to that platform and see, we have 1,000 farmers on this platform. How many are producing the variety we are interested in? And then how do we reach them so that we can buy from them? So there are very many platforms in the market. I would encourage our tech bro, please come up with those ideas. Talk to people. You never know who might be interested in the product.
Right, so it's a sellable product.
Yes, it is.
Right, great. So coming back to our farmers, I want you to talk to us about mistakes you made with money in the business, financial mistakes that you made. When you think about them now, you're like, hey, by the way, what was I doing? So that another person who's listening to us right now can learn from your mistakes, right? I'll start with you, Betty. What did you get wrong with money when you're setting up your business?
Okay, the very first thing I would say, I trusted illiterate or incompetent people with my money into farming. So I think that is where I got it wrong. First, I weren't like I had the whole idea in mind. I knew the technical part of it, but now, because some of the time we do not have 100% time in the farm, I trusted someone who didn't really understand about the crop and could not manage even the scouting, the simple thing like scouting and getting to know this is this pest and this is not the other pest. It was difficult. And one thing in farming, if you do wrong identification, you cannot make the right, you cannot make the good decision in correction, because we say in farming, all your sprays or your spray program is informed by your scouting outcome. So if I said this is aphids, but instead haikuwa aphids, ilikuwa thrips. So mimi nitaenda kuspray against aphids na instead ya kukipiga against these other things. So you will get it wrong, you will get messed. Yes, you are using those chemicals, but they are not working just because you did a wrong identification, yes, and detection. So I think that is one mistake I did, and we corrected it as we are.
That can be a bit personal, because sometimes you're like, hey, nimeanza ukulima, wacha niambie brother angu, you know, or a family member who probably doesn't have the knowledge of agriculture, but you want to support family as well.
Chana mambo ya familia kwa ukulima. It is true. By the end, business hakuna urafiki. There is one thing I tell myself. Kwa biashara hakuna urafiki. Kweni Odero amekuja kwa shamba yangu. If 1 kg is 8 bob, actually nipe tu 8 bob yangu, then we go. We will just go and party outside. But kwa biashara, stories of family, unless it's based on skills and competence, let that out.
Right. So invest in skilled people in your farm. Odero, a financial mistake that you made?
Aside from what she's said in terms of getting incompetent people from the start, I had my cousin managing the farm for me. Well, kiboko. But another mistake that people make, and I see a lot, is starting big. But if I can say for myself, I started a bit too big. I was over-ambitious. But I was sold for a dream. I was sold for a dream.
You got a dream.
There's people who are out there on the lookout. The moment you have enough resources and you walk around a little, you don't do enough due diligence, there's someone who'll just blow you away and you say, ni hiyo ndio nataka. You see? And things didn't go right. I think that is the biggest mistake that I made when I was venturing into agriculture.
Right. So do your market research at all times.
I
Hata
do
kama
market
mtu amekuambia about Ravaya ama nini ama basil, research further.
Research further.
All right, and skilled people.
Yes.
All right, so Eric, I want to come to you still on the money. They've told us their mistakes, all right?
Yes.
So someone has listened, they will avoid those mistakes and they'll get it right from the very beginning, then they start making some profits and the business is looking good. So how do you reinvest? Unajipanga aje to reinvest that profit back to your farm to scale up the business? When do you start paying yourself? And also you're paying yourself as who? Because as who? Like in terms of, sometimes you find when you're setting up the business, you're a lot of things.
Yes.
You're the
procurement,
founder,
marketer,
you're the marketer,
HR.
Worst case scenarios,
higher.
worst case scenarios, like for me and my cabbages, the consumers were true. Because you have to eat them when the market, you know. So will I pay myself a wholesome figure for just being, you know, the operations guy here?
Yes.
Or for marketing, kula kakitu. Being the founder, kula kakitu. HR, so how do you scale back, budget that profit nicely and see the business grow? And how do you also pay yourself? And from when, actually?
Okay, thank you. Very good questions. We advise that let's not do agriculture the same way our grandparents did.
Sure.
Yes.
Take time to think and plan ahead. If you are going into, if you have decided I want to go into farming and that is what will sustain my life going forward, take time to sit, think about it, look at how much money you need to put in, look at the market, look at the dynamics that you need to manage throughout, but also think about yourself, as because you are putting your time into this. If somebody had hired you, they would pay you.
Sure.
So your farm has hired you. Your business has hired you.
Okay.
At the point of starting, think of a salary that would be good for you. That will give you a target to work towards. Because for sure, it might not pay you from day one. But if you have a target you are working towards, then it's easier to say, nimefika ama bado.
Right.
So at the point of planning, when you're planning how to acquire the seeds, kama ni pesa ya kulease shamba, kama ni pesa ya transport to the market, also think about, now I'm putting in my time, what would be a good salary from my activity? And then work towards getting that salary.
Right.
Again, it's also important because if we are starting with a quarter acre, we don't want to be doing a quarter acre 10 years later. We want to grow. There is a dream. Siodero kuna dream. Kuna dream. So again, look at the business. That's why we advise work with a salary.
Yes.
Because when you work with a salary, then you know once nimejilipa, the remaining money ni ya biashara. So then you put back into the business. If you started with a quarter acre, target 2 seasons down the line to do half an acre.
Right.
3 years down the line, you want to do 5 acres.
Yes.
Right.
That is how you grow.
Right.
Otherwise, if you eat everything, you will never grow from the quarter acre.
Okay. All right. So that's scaling up. After a season, unaongeza, drip,
kidogo.
technology, and all that. All right.
And experience.
And experience as well. Have you started paying yourself, Betty?
Kwa shamba bado, but consultancy I do.
Kwa export unajilipa, lakini kwa shamba bado. Is there any particular reason kwa nini ulianza kujilipa? You feeling like you've not made enough money to start paying yourself?
Yeah, because you see, whatever I'm getting, inarudi tena huko.
You're reinvesting it back to the farm.
Yeah.
Okay, so for the export, you're paying yourself, the
Yes.
consultancy, but
Yes.
from the farm, not yet.
Yes.
Odero, are you paying yourself?
I thought you'd skip me.
I think you should have started paying yourself a long time ago. Because
2 million initial capital.
Ground things are a bit different. To be honest, and I think one of the biggest mistakes that we make as farmers is records.
Yeah, sure.
Records hapo. It's when I just started being keen with how much I'm spending in terms of inputs with the road to 100 tons, and now I have the battle of the bells. So sasa sahi next time ukiniambia Odero, how much do you need to do onions? I will show you my books.
Right.
Ndio hii. madawa, nini, everything. So now, once I sell, I can now tell you, this is the margin,
Alright,
this is the
true.
profit.
Alright,
But I
alright.
never had that.
Right.
Nilikuwa tu.
Yeah.
Eh.
Poor record keeping
Poor record
or no
keeping.
record keeping
No
at
record
all
keeping.
made you unable to even build a structure that you can pay yourself
Yeah.
on.
Lacking
and now
lacking
you're
also a
working
business
toward
plan, because
a
that will
business
also help
plan.
you in terms of knowing projections wise.
Yeah.
I can survive to the second season. By then nafaa kuwa the learning curve should have been huku juu
Yeah.
kabisa.
Right.
Nafaa kuwa master this thing, now profits.
Right. Mr. Eric, as I get into agriculture, do I need to have a business plan? Do I need to get that done? Who does it for me? Can I do it myself? Do I need to hire an expert to do it for me? And how important is it, a business plan? Mi na vitungu zangu. Do I need to have a business plan? Eh?
Yes, unafaa kuwa wewe, vitunguu na business plan.
Okay, got you. So who
Yeah.
designs
So,
that for me?
Sometimes we use big words and they scare people off.
Yeah.
A business plan is don't make it something scaring. A business plan is just you thinking about how much capital do I need ya kuanza, and how much money will I need to run through the full season.
Yes.
So kuna kupalilia, kuna kuspray,
there's
kuna
inputs.
top dressing,
Yeah.
and all those. So a business plan it can even be one page.
Ah.
Yes.
It can be one page.
It might not
Campus
be for the
tulikuwa
2
tunaandika
million.
tatu.
You're the professor.
For the 2 million that Dero put in,
Yes.
might not do with a one-page business plan.
Yeah.
But if you are starting with a quarter an acre and you have 50,000, one page of a business plan
That's
is good
true.
enough, because
Right.
to do a proper business plan, just think of how much money do I need,
Yes.
and at what point do I need it?
Yeah.
Do I need it when starting? Do I need it when the season is halfway?
Yes.
Or at point of harvesting? And record it.
Right.
The other thing you have to think of is now, how will I make my money? So as I'm spending 60,000 naweka kwa shamba, itarudi na njia gani?
Yeah.
That's true.
Yes, so think about market, because you are putting in 50,000. You obviously do not expect to get 40,000 back. You want to get 50 plus something.
Right.
Yes.
Yes, so think about, if I'm to get that 50, ni wapi itatoka?
All right.
Am I close to the market that will give me that? And finally, the most important thing that many businesses miss is what we call stress testing. And stress testing is just asking, what if the things I want to happen do not happen? What if the rains fail or they delay? How do I recover my business? What if I plan to sell a kg of onions at 80 shillings and I go to the market and it's 50 shillings? What happens?
Right.
How do I recover?
Okay.
So stress testing is just trying to look at the different possibilities and finding out, will I survive if things turn out differently?
Right. Great.
Yes. So a business plan does not need to be complicated. If you are starting small, write a one-page business plan.
Right.
If you are putting in 10 million as capital, then obviously you need to get
To
an
be
expert.
several pages and an
Yes.
expert involved as well.
pages.
Great. So let's look at what some of our viewers across all our social media platforms are saying. We have Walker on X. Thank you for being here. Na anasema, how can I recover from my losses? I started farming and only got 2 bags. What can I do to get more yield? I wish we knew it was 2 bags of what they were growing. But yeah, so how to recover from losses? You've experienced loss,
Yes.
Betty, buying the wrong seed. So how did you recover from that?
Yeah.
You'll take that. Victor on YouTube, I operate a large-scale Java farm and would like to begin exporting. I'm in Historia Java. All right, so yeah, so he operates a large-scale Java farm and would like to begin exporting and selling locally. Could you advise on the required procedures and any key do's and don'ts I should know? All right, that's Victor on YouTube. Right, and we also have Naomi Omari joining us on Zoom. I do groundnut farming on half an acre. I sell them locally. Can you help me reach other markets so that I can grow further? Great. So yeah, those are some of the questions that we have across our social media platforms. All right, Ule alipata 2 bags. We're not too sure it's 2 bags of what, but of course the expectation was more than 2 bags.
For
Yeah.
sure.
Right. So how do you recover from that? Very briefly, and then we move to the other questions as we wrap up.
Yes, you will recover the moment you will realize where you got it wrong.
Yeah.
So, because in farming, there are so many ways to get it wrong. How are the soils? Was the soil fertile enough? At some point, maybe crop was stressed, na ika fall off maua yote, maybe tuseme hata ni beans, you see?
Yeah.
So there are so many factors zenye zinaweza contribute to getting the two bags. Maybe ikuwe ni mchanga, the crop was stressed, maybe because of water or maybe lack of nutrients, and so many other factors. Ama ikuwe pia pest zilimlemea, ama pest zilikuja zika pest infestation were too high, so they end up lowering the production.
Right.
So you must know where you got it
Problem,
right.
right.
You
Find
got
out what
it
the
wrong.
problem was.
Yeah.
So in 30 seconds, Odero, you'll wrap up by answering the last two questions. They were centered around marketing. Ule wajaba anataka kuuza zaidi locally and export. Alafu pia huyo wa mwisho wa groundnut anasema I sell locally but I'd like to, be able to access more markets, all right? So inaonekana ni kama mali anauza ni region moja. How do they access more markets? So just in 30 seconds, talk about the vigorous marketing aspect.
Wajaba, Wajaba, HCDA can really help such a person, because they can connect you direct to people who do exporting now, the aggregators, right?
Yes, I can as well help.
You can as well help. There's Betty here, reach out to Betty.
Yes.
Come on.
Wanjugu, what will I say? I can say they can go to people. You see now the companies that do the roasting and sell in supermarkets. Get their contacts up on your karatasi. That works. Imagine it works.
Okay.
Yes.
You Google those things.
Just Google those things.
Right.
They can purchase from them if they have a lot.
Yeah.
And also they can also aggregate from fellow farmers around.
Yes.
Maybe form a union and tell the person we have like 3 tons of groundnuts.
Right.
It increases the purchasing power.
Right. And it's better when you're a group, because
you're
then
in
you
a
can
group
supply
for
a
items
bigger
like that.
market.
Yes.
All right, so make your internet, social media, your friends, soma
Yes.
karatasi hapo nyuma, some
Hapo
contacts
nyuma.
are there. Usiogope, usikue na
Wapigie.
aibu kwa
Kuza
market.
itaki aibu.
All right, great. So as we wrap up, the last comment will be coming from Eric. All right, so many people have been listening, and you can tell the goal is to start a business. All right, that piece of advice that you can leave them with, ile yenye utawacha wakitafakari nayo.
Yes.
What is that gem that you can drop for that person who wants to start a business, whether it's in the agricultural sector, tech sector, as long as it's a business? What is that gem that you're leaving them with?
I think one of the things I've experienced or I've seen from very many people is that you want to get 100% information before you begin, which will never happen. So my advice would be, with the information you have, start something, get going. Clarity comes along the journey.
That's true.
So get going, start from where you are, and eventually you will be able to build something. But if you're waiting for the perfect time, it actually never comes.
Right.
Yeah, so get going with what you have.
Just start, learn on the job.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everyone. We have
Asante
learned so much.
sana.
Thank you, Mr. Eric, our business expert. You have been very resourceful. And I believe not only the viewers have learned, even us. There's some things. And takuona you may attend for
Pia mimi.
business. How to make that business concept, you know.
Yes.
Thank you so very much. Thank you, Betty, for sharing your story as real, as raw, the highs and the lows, and also encouraging us that hata nako ka 50K kako uko tu sawa.
Kabisa.
Thank you so much. And also thank you, Odero, for telling us, even with the big budget,
Yes.
ukulima can accommodate it. You'll
For
make a
sure.
few mistakes, but you'll bounce back
You'll
up.
bounce back.
And you've done very well with the marketing
thank
aspect,
you,
because
Sam.
market is just something that makes very many people quit
Thank
you. Sure.
agriculture. So thank you all so much. You have been, very resourceful in this panel. And of course, the viewers who have been streaming in across all our social media platforms, on X, on Facebook, on YouTube, and on Zoom as well. Thank you so very much for making time to be with us this morning. We do hope you've learned a thing or two. Remember, our goal, our theme is let's go, let's grow. And we're looking forward to seeing you grow in the different businesses that you will be starting after this. It has been an absolute pleasure being your host today. We're looking forward to doing so many more of this. My name is Violetta Ngina, or widely known as the International
Mkulima.
Mkulima. Goodbye.